The Yankees just did something that we've never seen before in this new playoff format, which is win the series after losing game one of the wild card series, and now they're looking red hot going into the ALDS. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Bad for Baseball, the baddest baseball podcast on the internet. I'm Adam Peddle, joined alongside by Nicholas Paleolog. That was a very entertaining series between the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. When they went down 0-1, the sky was falling in Yankeeville, but they willed themselves back with some great performances and some great stories that we're going to break down in this one. But overall thoughts just on the Yankees moving on. They were the hottest team going into the break, and now they're going into the LDS.
Yeah, 100%, man. That was honestly like too close to for comfort if you are a New York fan, especially because you would have been playing with a whole lot of confidence after having like the last 10 that you did have walking into the playoffs. So you really did have it go down to the wire, but you had enough clutch performances from the lads to be able to push you over the edge. Massive tip of the cap here has got to go to Cam Schlittler for being capable of going 8 innings, no earned run ball, 12 strikeouts against the Boston Red Sox. Again, not a lineup that is bad by any stretch of the imagination. A playoff team, right? So they got there for a reason, and they got absolutely spanked by Cam Schlittler. He saw what Garrett Crochet did to his Yankees on the first game and was like, you know what? Whatever you can do, I can do, and he did it in a clutch moment there.
Yeah, that's huge. He set MLB records for the youngest player or the rookie to have the most strikeouts in a postseason format in his first start with the 12 strikeouts, beating the 10 back in 1981. So this guy who was honestly just a replacement for who was it? It was the other guy who kind of sounds like a shit thing. Cam Schmidt. Yeah,
right.
Cam Schmidt hit the IL and he replaced him. And no one in the Yankeeville thought that this guy was going to become of anything. He was just like, all right, can we bridge the gap to get to postseason? Now it looks like he's going to be a vital piece, that 1, 2, 3 in that Yankees rotation.
Yeah, of course, man. When you go 8 innings and you will your team to victory like that, yeah, like you have etched yourself into the rotation for not only this postseason, but probably years to come right here. And I do want to comment a little bit on that Yankee rotation. Like, I do think that it is one of the better ones in the postseason format this year. You know, you got Max Fried, who's phenomenal. Carlos Rodon had himself a major bounce back year. Now you got Schlittler doing a bunch of stuff, and it's looking like they're going to have Luis Gil go against the Toronto Blue Jays in game one. And whilst he hasn't been playing his best recently on the season, still pretty good stuff right there. And correct me if I'm wrong, he was Rookie of the Year.
He was Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah, last year. So, like, that rotation, through and through, it is a scary one that you have to deal with.
It is, and that's one of their big strengths going into this postseason, as well as that lineup with Aaron Judge, who can like thump one out of the yard any given moment. Now, the one thing is they got to have that bullpen be shut down, but if Schlittler is going to give you 8 innings and you only got to pitch Bednar for 1, then you're feeling pretty good, which is funny because Bednar even had a walk in the inning, and Yankee Stadium was like feeling tense, like, oh my God, like, is it happening again? No, like, that's the thing. If they can get great performances, they're going to be just fine. Now, another story I wanted to bring up in this wild card series that I thought was pretty interesting was the whole thing about Anthony Volpe. Going into the postseason, I think Yankee fans, the most out of any fans, were way done with Anthony Volpe. They are out of the camp, wanted nothing to do with him. I even saw on John Boy Media, they were talking to Aaron Boone, like kind of beating around the bush, saying, is there any way we could bench this guy? Is there any way we could play anybody over this guy? Well, he played in almost every single game, and he showed up, ladies and gentlemen. In the 3 games, he had a batting average of .364 with an OPS of 1,000, including a home run and 2 RBIs. And I saw on Twitter that everyone was bringing up that this guy, just like Kike Hernandez over there in LA, this guy becomes a postseason beast when it becomes October with a career 300 batting average, 850 OPS. Thoughts on Anthony Volpe? Because, I mean, if they can get anything from Anthony Volpe, major win.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, you need to have those postseason guys, and Anthony Volpe was carrying the load this past series. We'll see what happens, when he comes to Toronto, and then if they do move on from Toronto, like, what happens after that? I mean, one hot series, right? So many people have one hot series in the regular regular season and you never think anything about it. And then, well, now that it's in the playoffs, obviously it's going to get magnified. So everyone's talking him up and everything like that. I still think that Anthony Volpe is a very below average baseball player through and through. I think that, I guess you could make the argument to me that, when the lights are brightest, like maybe that's when he thrives. But that 662 OPS on his career is staring me in the face, and it does not look sexy. That being said, though, I will give him his flowers right now because the Yankees probably would not be moving on had Anthony Volpe not decided to step up.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously they had contributions from the regulars like Aaron Judge and Cody Bellinger. I had 250, not as much power from Cody Bellinger. Paul Goldschmidt batting 600 in that series, like huge step up from him, who's been kind of up and down all season long. But Volpe being a great addition to that lineup is what's going to make them go over the edge and make up for potential runs lost later when the bullpen gives them up. Now, another story as well in this series that when they lost game one, everyone was up in arms, staring at Aaron Boone, thinking, what the hell are you doing? Like, this is the reason why some Yankee fans want you fired, is they benched Jazz Chisholm Jr., their 30-30 player in a 3-game series. You put him on the bench in game one. We're not Yankee fans. I completely understand if you bench my 30-30 guy and then we go on to lose, why I'd be mad at you. Now, Jazz Chisholm shook it off. He was kind of pissed off, but then he shook it off and he bounced back in game two. He had a critical fielding play that saved a run that ended up stopping the Red Sox from scoring, and then he also went first to third, which was the go-ahead run. So he played a critical role in this series as well.
All I can hope for as a Toronto Blue Jays fan is that more of this incompetence and stupidity seeps in to the ALDS. Like, I really hope that Aaron Boone didn't learn his lesson and that he does, end up benching. Maybe it's Stanton this time. Maybe, I don't know, right?
We can't play on the turf. We got to bench Stanton.
Exactly. Yeah, he's going to have a hard time running here. Whatever. Either way, that made absolutely zero sense to me. I was listening to John Boy and those guys who were really connected with the New York Yankees landscape, and even he was really struggling to figure out what on God's green earth they were thinking of when they did that. Obviously, matchups are a thing, but like eventually you got to look at the guy's numbers and go, well, he stole 30 bases and hit 30 bombs with us this year. Like, this is an all-star caliber player. I don't really give a shit about the matchups, if I'm being completely honest. Like, we go when this guy goes, and when this guy started going, they also started going. So I would anticipate that Jazz Chisholm Jr. won't be receiving any more texts from Aaron Boone in the coming days. Again, I would be more than thrilled if he did want to decide to do that, but I got a feeling he's going to be in there.
Yeah, he absolutely will be in a 5-game series in Toronto starting on Saturday. Now, speaking of which, that is the ALDS matchup. Looking across the board at all these different type of DS matchups, maybe there's bias creeping in. I think Blue Jays and Yankees have got to be on the top. Those are the two best teams in the AL. One of them has got to be knocked out in the next week of time. In game one, they're not going to have Max Fried because that's the benefit of getting the bye if you're the Blue Jays. The wildcard team's going to have to throw out a fourth pitcher to get to their ace again. Luis Heel is projected to go in game one against Kevin Gausman. That's the matchup there, and if we're going to do some simple looking ahead, you've got then Max Fried going game two, probably Bieber for the Blue Jays going in game two as well. Then you're going to have Carlos Rodon game 3 on Tuesday. Then another rookie sensation, Trey Savage, going to go against Carlos Rodon. Then you'll probably have Cam Schlittler going on the Wednesday. I know it says off day here on the screen chat, but it's glitching. They are playing on Wednesday. And then you'll have probably either Max Scherzer or Bassett. And then circling all around, you'll probably push Max Fried to go again on the Friday. Probably well rested enough to go up against Kevin Gausman. Let's talk about that series. I know we're going to bring it up a lot in our Blue Jays Today show, but where's the temperature check? Who are you liking right now?
Honestly, like I I'll be honest, I actually do kind of like the Yankees a bit.
Yeah,
like their starting pitching is it's really good, man. Like, just flash up the season long stats real quick of Rodon and those lads. Like, it is actually really good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're throwing Luis Heel into the mix. Like, we got to hope that Luis Heel doesn't have it from a Toronto Blue Jays standpoint, honestly, and then take game one. And then if you can, take one of these other ones, like, that'd be great, obviously. But the Yankees lineup, like, I think that you could even make an argument that, and this is where the rest versus the rhythm argument comes into play, because the Toronto Blue Jays, they got their rest, and that's awesome. However, they probably aren't going to get Bo Bichette back, which is a big reason why we wanted the rest in the first place. And fingers crossed they do get Chris Bassett back, which would be a good addition right there. But the Yankees in Game 3, when I was hoping as a Toronto Blue Jays fan, they were going to go 18 innings and pitch all their guys and everything. They only pitched 2 guys. They pitched 2 guys, right? So, yes, you don't have Max Fried, being able to go for you in Game 1.
That was given anyways.
But that's that's really the only downside negative, I would say, about what just transpired.
You're getting Max Fried twice anyways, probably.
You're probably going to get, if the series goes as long as we anticipate it most likely will, you will end up getting Max Fried twice regardless. Your lineup is still feeling good right now. Yes, they had that down day against Crochet, but then they bounced back, and now it feels like they got all the momentum. Obviously, my bias wants Toronto to win this thing, and head-to-head on the season, they have been better than the New York Yankees, but as it stands today, I would be lying to you if I said that I'm not nervous about the level of play New York is walking into Toronto doing.
Yeah, again, my bias wants to convince myself to pick the Blue Jays too. If we're looking at pure starting pitching matchups, advantage Yankees
by a wide margin.
By a wide margin. If we're looking at a team who can score a lot of runs, still advantage Yankees. They're the number 1 team in baseball in scoring runs. But that's also due to the long ball. If the key for the Blue Jays to win is they got to limit the long ball. And it's a 5-game series. They've given up a lot of long balls all season long. Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah, the most out of any postseason team right now. So that's the key. If you could somehow turn that stat around, I think you got a good chance to keep yourself within the ball game and then scratch across a couple runs. Because I think the Blue Jays hitters have been getting to every single one of their pitchers at one point all season long. Schlittler, Heel, anybody, Free twice, Rodon twice. They have gotten to them. That's doable. It's can they limit the other side?
So I'll tell you what. The one argument that I have right now as to why the Toronto Blue Jays should win this series is that head-to-head in the 13 games that we've played, we have been a better baseball team than the New York Yankees. We're 8-5 against them, and the ERA of the Yankees in that time, all those starting pitchers, 4.95.
Yeah.
That's the entirety, right? So that's bullpen included. That's everything, right? So their pitchers, or maybe our offense, has been significantly better there. But that's the one argument, because I do think that there are a lot of things trending in the Yankees' direction. Once again, hopefully I'm going to be proven wrong. But either way, I do anticipate that this is going to be probably a 5-gamer.
I was going to say probably 5 games. We're watching on Friday.
Probably a 5-gamer, just, considering the landscape of things and how good Toronto is at home and the momentum of the Yankees. This one could be coming down to inning 9 of Game 5. Honestly.
And also, fun fact, first time the Blue Jays and Yankees have ever played in a postseason format.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and that actually blew me away. I just figured that over the course of history that would have happened. But
I think it more has to do with the fact the Blue Jays rarely go to the postseason.
Right.
And if they do, back in the day when they win a lot, there was no way for the Yankees to get in because there was only 2 teams.
That's true. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. But I guess history in the making, folks. Let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. Who are you riding with between the Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays in what is going to be a crucial or just electric ALDS most likely? Please hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and of course let us know your thoughts down below.
And guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Cheers.